On the couch, on the couch, on the couch, homie, we on the couch. On the couch, on the couch, on the couch, homie, we on the couch. I said on the couch, on the couch, on the couch, homie, we on the couch. On the couch, on the couch, on the couch, homie, we on the couch.
On the couch.
You stupid. Welcome back to On the Couch, you guys. It's your host, Ray Marie.
Your co-host, Doobie.
Producer man Taylor in the house.
Today we have with us King Kihei, an activist and an artist out of Kansas City, Missouri. How are you doing?
Good.
So, you guys, we know that we have been having our Black Lives Matter discussion, so we're going to continue that this week. And we have 3 topics, or 3 questions that I want to ask you, and you guys can chime in on how you feel about it. So, number 1, I know that you've been on the front lines protesting with everything that's going on right now. What has your experience been?
Man, eclectic. I've been to a lot of protests. This one's definitely been different. It's been a different element as far as definitely more people are protesting than any other protest I've been to. I mean, I've been to Mike Brown, to Trayvon, and we would even protest just locally, like when we're dealing with politics in the city, but this one's way different. But also I learned with it, some other elements popped up too. Like one of the elements was what I learned about how powerful this movement is, or how powerful we are, Black culture is, Black people are, the Black experience is on a world, global level. And I've seen more during this than I've seen in all of them combined. Like one example is the fact that, we had thousands of people here. You usually don't see that. And a lot of the protests, I'm gonna keep it real, you don't see our people there, even though it be our causes. And it's like, who's out there for us? And then sometimes I see that misconception where people be like, we talk about the melanin deficient folk don't support, but it's not true, man, because I've been there. A lot of times we don't support ourselves enough. But right now what I'm seeing is that we definitely are out, which is beautiful. Our people are out. Also, those other supporters are still there too. They supported us the whole time. But there's also some people that don't support us acting like they support us.
Yeah.
That never existed before. It exists now.
Yeah.
Elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, like a lot of the media, you see how the media portrays the looting and the stealing and all that. That's not our people. A lot of these cats are coming from out of town, or they're getting bussed in. I'm front line with them. I'm interacting with them just to see where they're at and what's going on. And a lot of it is I'm learning they're using this, I would say, this movement as a vehicle to drive their agenda. And what their agenda seems to be is definitely to devalue what we do, which is the exact reason why we doing the protest. Because everything we do gets devalued, anything. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, I got this candy bar we made. Black person make a candy bar. They gonna say, oh man, that candy bar suck, man, the flavor ain't good. I don't like the color of the wrapper or whatever. Next you know, they're gonna come out with the exact same candy bar.
With a different name.
Different style. And everybody gonna be like, yeah. On one end, that's good marketing.
Yeah.
We gotta improve our marketing, get better at that. But on the other end, it's like, y'all didn't just see that?
Yeah, selling.
Everybody supposedly woke.
Yeah.
Like, man, y'all, where y'all woke at? Got Freddy Krueger over there or something. Like, y'all still sleep, don't you know you sleeping? And but yeah, they definitely are utilizing that in the wrong way. But on one end, it shows you how powerful it is. Because if it's that powerful that you have a strategy, you gotta organize. You gotta do. They organize too now.
Yeah.
They had to get organized. How we gonna do this? How we gonna incite the riots out of the people? And they had to study the culture in order to do that. For example, what do Black people do when a bunch of people run?
We start running.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
So you got 20, 30 people running. We looking like, hey. And guess what that does? Chain effect. Everybody start running, and now what is it? It's not a protest.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's intelligent. But on the other hand, it's like you got to study us to begin with. That's how relevant we are.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we even ourselves sometimes don't even realize that we that relevant.
Right.
Like we the most influential people on the planet. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like, with you talking about the media, How has the media been truthful in its portrayal of what's going on out
Some have and some haven't.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are truthful tend to be there, right there with the people, you know, doing like real journalism. Those that's not, you know, getting a source from somebody else, you know, like I call them the keyboard Karens, you know, they sitting there on the keyboard talking about blah, 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 but you're not there. So what you get your information from is from somebody who getting his information from somebody else who ain't even there. So it's like all that misinformation is going out, but you got to have some accountability, some self-accountability. Like, am I going to listen to this misinformation or am I going to go to the source myself?
Yeah.
And those who went to the source themselves and was there will tell you what I just told you. There's people trying to hijack the message because they know how powerful that message is. It'll change. So this is a world-changing dynamic, world-changing message, period. The whole world is like, we not going for that. I've never seen that happen.
Yeah.
So
like all 50 states.
no, the world.
Like
I'm talking about London breaking curfew, Paris breaking curfew, New Zealand out here, Australia, the whole world. And you can even talk about that dynamic with us and the subcultures we got, even with like the people from Africa. They not African Americans. They'll tell you the difference, and it is a difference. But even them, they're like, yeah, you know, they got the support team as well. Like I'm like, I ain't never seen that. So it's different.
What do you think are the major differences with like the media portrayal as far as like what's being shown as the truth and what's fiction?
Well, there's always, you know, it's money. I always think money behind the scenes. You know, if you pay a media outlet enough, I mean, you can watch. We'll go with blogs, for example. A lot of blogs will try to play on satire, but in a sense, that's kind of how they typically talk when they communicate. A lot of sarcasm or displaced humor, and that's what they got to do in order to engage with somebody to even begin with. A lot of times they'll come in, hey, you know, it's a joke, knowing they want to be real, but they uncomfortable being real to begin with. So they have to do these other tactics. It's like a defense mechanism in order to just communicate. And I see that all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's why when a person is blunt or honest or to the point, they get intimidated. They look at that person like, oh man, he's rubbing me wrong. Really? Is he or is he not? Or you just don't know how to handle the truth and you're not accepting of the truth. And that's what I'm seeing now with this thing. Like everyone's kind of like, even the people that usually are like, yeah, that's media tomfoolery or whatever. Now they're like, man, nah, because they're hip to the tactics. They're hip to the things for the ratings. And like I'll say on my timeline, man, I haven't seen nothing ratchet in like 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm like, that's different. Because every time I go on there, all I see is
something ratchet.
Just some, just like, man, this is dumb, you know.
Everybody like putting everything on a pause right now.
Yeah.
But I just wonder how long. I want it to keep going. Like I don't want it to stop.
Yeah.
Like I want it to. Like if it's systemic oppression, then we need systemic changes. It doesn't just stop at arresting these officers off for charging of first-degree murder. It definitely doesn't stop there. Like they said, there's a long list of names, there's a long list of past crimes, there's a transfer of wealth that needs to happen, there's lots and lots and lots of things. And I kind of want us to keep the same energy until the last thing, like until every piece of the, like we send our demands, we need everyone met.
But we can keep that same energy. I mean, because think about it, use that same energy to make memes. But we can't use that same energy to make laws. Like, come on now. Like, I always see people, you know, they blame the system. I ain't gonna lie, I probably was like that when I was young too. Because I was influenced by people who understood it that way. Or I seen it only the way I could see it. And knowing like we don't get exposed to as much as we should. We get exposed to a lot, I guess, of what we shouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
more than what we
you know,
should.
like a normal, like I watch full adults, like full grown, been here 60 years. They ain't been through what we been through by the time we was like 10. And then they always want to tell us, and this is the one I love, like, you know, the trauma, the PTSD and trauma. And I'm like, you know, I know folks that's been here, that was here during Rodney King time, watch riots, everything. Man, they ain't have the support. They had no counseling for them. They ain't have nothing to teach them that. You know what I mean? Hey, you know, how to overcome this stuff. And what do you think they did? They was teaching the next generation. It's generational. So now we battling all of that on top of just what we going now. So on one end it's good because even that generation I'm hearing it. They're like, this is bigger than the Rodney King. This is bigger than what, like these people was there on the biggest riots or whatever, and they're telling me it's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely a big topic, man, a big deal. Because we are a big deal.
Yeah.
We always been.
Always been.
But they always been like, you're not a big deal. Yeah, okay. Now what? You know, like,
Right.
I'm going to paint the street Black Lives Matter too, man.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm on everything. I love it. There's a lot of, it's like we're using our creativity the right way now.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, we making memes. They not making memes. They putting a whole sign, a street sign up in front of the White House.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't seen that. That's a meme for you, for real.
You're right.
And there's a lot of ironic things, like we're going to put a wall up around the White House. I'm still waiting on Mexico to build this wall, man.
Yeah.
Dang.
We on us now.
But I love my Latinos, see, because I seen Latinos for Black Lives Matter. I seen Pacific Islanders for Black Lives Matter. Like, I've seen all the other cultures, and they get it. They get it. Like, our lives, it's different experience. Even though we have a lot of similar experiences, because we just being minorities, but they even acknowledge the difference, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
But like, even historically, we don't know about our Latino history and how they helped us throughout history. So like, we owe them too, in a sense. Well, also the Native Americans or indigenous folk. Like, you got to study our history, but I also see a lot of people, they want to discredit history, and that's why it's doomed to repeat itself.
Yeah.
But it's like,
you ain't went back far
you ain't
enough
got to
even
see
learn.
what's what to where they at to where you at now, and
to
all these
figure out
things.
what you need to change in the future to go somewhere else. Like,
That's where the game's at. They showing you how they did
the
it.
game is in your history.
Oh, we don't need to learn that. And then you watch them, like, dang, they gonna fall for the exact same. All right,
No,
you know what I mean?
don't
Like,
need to learn is the history that they teach you. You need to learn history. Learn your history no matter what culture you come from. Learn your history.
Yeah.
that's true.
Okay, so I'm gonna go right into the second one. So speaking of, because you did mention looters earlier, it's a very unique point of view when it comes to looters. How do you feel about the looters? Not just people who have came in to loot, but
I don't think it's
people
unique.
People who are here.
Not to, like, you know, kind of discredit the question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's unique. No matter what you do, there's gonna be opportunities. It don't matter. And my thing is, like, it's a mentality thing. If you got that same mentality in order to loot, you could use that same mentality in a different way, and you would be successful. Because it takes, like, they're geniuses low key. Because how you gonna sit here and wait for all these people to protest? You bring your rocks, you bring your frozen water bottles. Now think about this. When you go do something, say you're gonna go to work, right? You grab all the stuff you need to go to work. When I go protest, I ain't bringing no scuba gear. I ain't bringing no frozen water bottles. I'm not bringing no bottles of milk. Why? I'm here to protest. People bringing these things, acting like, what you bringing it for unless you plan on using it? Like, that's common sense to me. It's planned. It's like you're thinking this out. It's premeditated. And I'm still trying to find out whoever the dude is that got the forklift that bring the bricks to the plaza.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about, think about it. Where you gonna get the forklift?
Of all places in the world.
Where you gonna drive it?
Yeah.
Where you gonna drive
It
it?
happened in Kansas City at the
Where you gonna drive it on the street? And then you go drop it off. Okay, so they protesting every night with the police there every night. First, they don't even want you down there on the west side. You hit Cleaver, you start hitting past. You hit Nelson Atkins. You went too far, right? You keep going on a forklift on the street. Okay, I still want to know how you get because you're not carrying that in a van or nothing. No. You got a whole pallet of
how
bricks.
Did we just go through the city with a?
That's what I'm saying. Then you put it into like the epicenter.
Like in the middle.
Hold on, the epicenter.
Yeah, that was
the epicenter of American racism. Okay, J.C. Nichols.
Right.
No, like for real.
J.C. Nichols will be on the Mount Rushmore of like
racist
American
people
racism. Like, this dude definitely getting his head carved on there because people don't even know that about J.C. Nichols. Like, I'm talking about on a nationwide scale. They don't understand that. I'm like, boy, y'all better quit acting like Kansas City ain't pivotal to a lot of stuff.
Because if you don't know, he was the reason that segregation laws were really originated from
J.C. Nichols.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
he stopped people from getting housing jobs. Don't come over here, segregate this. I'm building this for us.
Why you fighting the racist institution where it started? Look here, keyboard Karen. I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, come on and show us a better place. Give us all that negativity. Give us a better solution. We could be misinformed. You might have a better idea. But you rather sit here and be like, throw this negativity and all that. Use that and tell us something better. Because we could be wrong. I doubt it. But we could be wrong. And then but instead of using that energy, you want to create more friction. Not knowing we out here even for the keyboard Karens. Mm-hmm. But as far as the looting is concerned, I want to find that dude. I done seen some craftiness in my time. Okay, but I said, man, that was... I laid it out, I played it. I'm looking like, man, how did he do that? I was like, because if he got that off, he a legend. Yeah. Like, that's legendary.
Nah, if he got that off, he was told to do it.
And even then.
And allowed to.
And even then,
because they were blocking streets off. So of course they can, if you block all of traffic off from a certain street, then take these blocked off streets.
But even then,
drop this stuff out.
Even then, if I ask you, hey man, check this out. All right, I need you to drop this pallet of bricks. Off at the plaza. I'm about to give you 10 racks. All right, we gonna do this, and then I'm be like, yeah, I'm with that. Nah, ain't nobody nah. It's legendary. However that happened, that remind me of Compton when they dropped that box car with the guns. Yeah. If you ask me about looting, same principle.
Do you feel like, because everyone has their place in a protest or in making something change on an astronomical level, because that's what has to happen.
Absolutely.
Do you feel like they have a place?
Yes they do, because it highlights that dynamic that exists. That's a dynamic that has to change also. It's like, it don't matter what field, and we even talk about the police. All police ain't bad, all people ain't bad. Everybody ain't a looter, but they're gonna try to stereotype you, and they're gonna try to place you based upon where they want to place you. So in a sense, that tells on themselves. Where it's like, you can't understand that dynamic exists. You gotta go learn some more.
I feel that when it comes to looting, it shouldn't be looting. As far as taking, I think that we should just burn shit. Burn shit that we know that ain't gonna motherfucking
help us.
We don't. And honestly, I'm not even talking about burning clothing stores and shit like that. Nah, nigga, the best example to me of actually speaking and saying something towards what was going on is when they burned the motherfucking precinct. And I was like, you know what? That shows right there that nah, we ain't taking no more. Fuck all the stores. Fuck that. Nigga, let's go and burn these motherfuckers and show them we not fucking around no more. A precinct, a whole precinct gone. Just think about that neighborhood right now, good and bad. Because in a good way, guess what? They ain't got no police over there patrolling them, but in a bad way, we still got opportunities. It's a hand in hand, it's a catch-22, but that's a real statement. Instead of trying to break something in and take a TV or take some clothes, something that you can't buy just because right now you're taking advantage of what's going on. That shit right there is dead. But we definitely do.
But here's the catch-22.
Motherfuckers to fuck shit up
when we talk about how, but here's the catch-22 on that precinct. Because who paid for that precinct to be built?
Yeah,
the taxpayers.
But
that's why I say we actually have that right to actually burn it down.
The taxpayer ain't pay for these clothing stores, and to be honest, you have to I'm gonna always defend the looters because those companies have benefited from a system that oppresses black people. How many times have you been followed around a clothing store? How many times have you been walked into a CVS walked into a CVS just get looked at by everybody in there. All of a sudden you start hearing they need help in the beauty section. And all you're doing is walking by it. All of a sudden you need help. You can hear over the need help in this section. No, we don't. I just walk by, over here. That's it.
I really feel that it would actually be more effective if we just stop spending with them. Because if we burn it down,
let's burn it down first.
It's gonna the insurance is gonna take care of it. But if we just stop spending with them completely, and then burn down the buildings that we know that fuck y'all. Cause yes, we pay for this shit. So if I see a precinct, that's what we should burn down. Because motherfucker, you should know what the fuck this really means. We're not just burning this building down because we are mad and we're frustrated. We're burning this bitch down because nigga, we built this motherfucker. We'll burn this motherfucker the fuck down to the ground. Stop fucking with us. I'm
not skipping over a target to go to the next precinct. I'm just gonna get it all. It's all gonna
I feel that. Get it all. Don't get me wrong.
And I do like we talked about. So we gonna get what we need out of the process. We gonna
if we get some walkie-talkies and shit like that,
we gonna get sprayed. We gonna get bloody. We gonna get
get rid of that motherfucker. But for real,
we gonna need all that
in the long haul, like you was talking about in the long haul. Like I was talking about, that's where I feel like, you know what, we need to just stop spending with these companies, period. Because if we stop spending with them and spend with us, come on, we create our own motherfucking economy and get away from the mobocracy that they are trying to put us up under right now. They the fucking mob. They the fucking mob.
The mobocracy, right?
Yeah, fucking mob. Like, come on. You niggas is out here repping MOB and don't even know what the fuck that's exactly what we're under control right now.
So we talking about Kansas City and JC Nichols. Mobocracy is relevant with Kansas City as well.
Yeah.
Now it's funny because I'm sitting here and I'm watching both of them. They're like, "Burn this motherfucker," and I'm in the car like, "Damn, we ride. Okay, we riding. That's I got ride my people. Like, all right." But on one end, I'm like, I get the money dynamic, but a lot of that comes when you understand how deep the rabbit hole goes and how the pieces are really connected. Mm-hmm. So as far as like, I get the precinct, but I'm saying not every cop is bad.
Yeah,
I can't. And then now you're looking at his family, but they're gonna be cool. I mean, you get paid to pop people anyway. You're gonna get paid for that. You're gonna get the insurance. You're gonna be cool. You know, I got some different alternative methods. Is that the next question? She been like this and everything.
Okay, so I kind of want to tie in your music with what's going on right now. You have been releasing a lot of music, a lot of songs, a lot of videos, you know, like snippets of stuff that's going on. How are you relating your music to the climate right now, or are you?
Yeah, well, I think it's the part of it. To be honest with you, the climate's always existed.
Yeah, and
it's always been what needed to exist at the same time. So these are the things we've always talked about, like how are we going to get out of this oppression? How do we rise above these challenges and these catch-22s? There's like a million catch-22s as being a black man in America you deal with every second of the day. Mm-hmm. I even saw the mayor talk about it, and I had to commend him for that. Because even if I do the right thing, there's still that cloud of failure. Because if I do this, I fail this, and if I do this, I fail this part. And it's always a catch-22. So it's like unfortunate, but that's a reality. So it's a dynamic that you have to overcome. So like, can I come out with content? Absolutely. I can come out with something every single day. It doesn't. That's what I've been doing every day. Mm-hmm. Why? Because it's like that same energy. If I put that energy and somebody listens to it and it helps them see one of those catch-22s or helps their mind, like, man, that makes sense. Or just, that's all I'm trying to do is be a catalyst for the mentality piece. How are you going to look at this differently? How are you going to approach it different? And I can relate to a lot of people. We've all had the same similar experiences. Mm-hmm. You know, the very painful experiences and also the triumphs. Because if we never talk about the triumphs, what do we got to look forward to, or what do we even know? Yeah. But there's even a catch-22 with winning. Because when you get there, then you get a whole different set of like catch-22 traps. Like you just can't be successful. As soon as you're successful, then the different type of problem comes out. Yeah.
Catch-22.
It's always going to be that. And then it's like, we got to talk about that. We got to combat that. That's what's so big about this movement. Because it's like, a lot of those catch-22s stem from racism. Mm-hmm. Period. Mm-hmm. Why can't I got this money. I'm going to go rent this venue out. How come I can't do it? You'll come out with some lame excuse that's not true. And that's what we call the red tape. Mm-hmm. Why is it red tape? Man, J.C. Nichols had this thing called redlining. Pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's the red tape, even with those businesses. Even if you got the exact same money they got, it don't matter. That's the catch-22. So even though you're successful, and then you got your people like where you come from, you know what I mean? So you get to these heights, and you're like, come on, let's go. Some of them are actually, they see the things you go through, and they're like, I don't know if I want to, go through that. Because it ain't easy. A lot of it's painful. Very painful, but you got to internalize that. And how do you rechannel that? That's something I do, I think, with the music. Music's my outlet. Yeah. Always been. I guess it's like a diary. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna call it that, I said, but in a sense, it's a memoir. You know what I mean? The same thing. I mean, we can write books and all that. But at the same time, I love our people. But do we read books the same way we listen to music? Probably not. Yeah, I can write a book. It's easy. Yeah. Well, are they going to read that book, or are they going to listen to that music? And that's what I try to do, but I also know that format is different. Like a blog ain't the same as a song, ain't the same as the news media outlet. It's all media. It's all different. If I can sprinkle some truth here and there, and you take it that way, like your Blanche collard greens, it's gonna be. I drizzle some truth on them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If I got put a little bit of gentrification seasoning on it for you to get that medicine, that honey for your medicine, I'm gonna do that. Why is that? Because the real purpose is to get that truth out there. Yeah. The real goal is for you to see these things and really kind of have that dialogue. That's what I love. Like growing up listening to certain music, like we could talk about artists and do have these dialogues. Like Pac's one of my favorites. And a lot of people, they talk, oh, he's not lyrical. And I'm like, yeah. I said he was so deep, he was so layered, most people can't even catch how lyrical he was. And it's like, and that's a problem too, because it's like, when you look at the consciousness level, it's so conscious, but you can't catch that. Yeah. And it's like, they're not conscious enough. And then you got to break it down simpler. But that also that's another topic we could talk about as far as the music. And I got something for that too. I got something for all aspects. Like I get the girl stripping for tuition, I get it. But I also get the girl that's not. Yeah. And I also get the guy getting the money off there's so many dynamics. It's so diverse and within itself. And then every diverse individual, they all got catch-22s too. That kind of led them to wherever they're at for the time being. That doesn't mean they can't switch their hat and be somebody different or mature or evolve from that, which is another, it's never ending. So yes, I can do a song every day because the creativity, it's so much inspiration in the world when you really pay attention to the world. It's so much. And I don't like to be pigeonholed. A lot of artists I see will just do one thing, stay in one lane, and that's it. Like I love Jesus, but I know when to listen to Jesus. Yeah. I'm not gonna listen to him like on the way to go skating or something.
I'm gonna chill with my dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna chill with my dog. I don't listen to Jeezy. I'm gonna hit the block. I'm gonna hit some Jeezy or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I'm about to go to the strip club. I'm not putting Talib Kweli on. It just ain't gonna make okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, but even then, people know that. Even the basic consumer. And we want to talk about the music. Like, part of that is who do we support? Yeah. And if you look at who they support now, do they necessarily support the conscious MC? Not really. Not like they should. But this is the dynamic. This is how big this is because I have not seen that happening in the last 2 to 3 weeks. It's like a paradigm shift even with that. Because all these other artists, with the skittle color hair and all that, they quiet. Yeah. They quiet right now. Quiet. But that's how it is in the real world, because this is a real world problem. Yeah. This is permeating your keyboards.
It's permeating the fact that you're a celebrity or a regular person on the street.
And you're not doing nothing. And if you ain't doing nothing, which you wasn't before, now it's getting more exposed. And then at the same time, then we gotta watch the people, and the people are doing some self-reflection. Like, you supporting a lot of this. Can I cuss over here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you support a lot of the fuckery. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? So you just as accountable for that fuckery to be bigger than what it is. Because if everybody was supporting the fuckery, it'd be more people on the shit that's not fuckery.
Man, you could
so
say that again.
I'm gonna say that again because people. I'm gonna be honest with you. I put some tracks out. I'm like, man, that shit is tight. I'm talking about people I know, been listening, knowing I'm dope, knowing that Yes, I'm arrogant on that mic, man, because I'm cold, but I put the work in. I done put my 10,000 hours in. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And then they like, man, that's tight. I'm like, really? I said, yeah, because I dropped that shit 12 years ago. And that shit's relevant today. So there it tells me I'm ahead of my time and knew that, or your ass just wasn't paying attention the whole time. And you supporting the bullshit. So I'm looking like, I don't know, because in my music, I don't encourage supporting the bullshit. I don't.
At all.
You know, even if it's times where it views like, yeah, we do. Sometimes, you know, we talk about things that are graphic in the music. But we saying it for that time and for that place, for where that exists, because we've been there.
Yeah.
We've been through that. Like, I've been through these challenges that we speak about in our music.
Yeah.
We're not on the outside looking in. We've lived through this stuff. And then people, you know, I know, you know the difference when you go through something when somebody hasn't, and they talk about it, and you're like, man, you ain't been through that. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? A lot of the basic consumer, they don't know. They just thinking, oh, this the black experience. Hell no, it ain't. You want to listen to Black Experience? Go listen to King Kihei and all the different dynamics and all the elements of what it is. We conscious, we ignorant, we gangster, we family oriented, we all these hats, and that's a black man. We can be all that. Yeah. Y'all talk about you can't be a jack of all trades, right? I'd be like, so what, you only do laundry? you don't know how to do dishes or not? Like you only
better be at least a couple trades. At least
you only put pants on. You can't put a shirt on too. Like damn. You know what I mean? Like people so narrow-minded. It's crazy. But I also talk on the artist on the music tip. You'll see an author write a book, or you'll have a movie director make different types of movies, and you won't generalize that person or put him like that. But when it comes to artists, you know, why they do that? Or is it because it's our culture, or is it because it's us?
I ain't even gonna lie, to tie all of that back in comes right off of what you just said. We need to realize that as far as people that are protesting, that don't generalize just somebody. Yeah. We all have a voice in this. I'm tired of seeing people talking about they gonna delete you because you said this, or your opinion. You're a part of the problem if you can't accept somebody else's opinion. If you think that you're just all the way cut code, then I mean, that's a totally different story. We have to be able different sections, like you were saying. We have to be able to come together and diverse. We gotta be diverse. We gotta diversify ourselves.
But that's a catch-22 when you talk about Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. Because that's going to be an angle they're going to use that for, but not knowing, like, no, there's a time and place sometimes. Like I said, I'm not listening to Talib going to the strip club. I'm not, okay? If I'm going to the library, I put them on, you know? Yeah. But we talking about Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
We got to be diversified, but at the same time, we can't lose focus. Like, you can't lose the focus, like, I'm a dope-ass artist.
I want to really thank you. Well, we want to thank you so much for coming and joining our discussion today. You know,
appreciate y'all.
Yeah, where can people find you as far as your music is concerned and stuff? Where can they look you up? King
Kihei, Kihei. Matter of fact, you can Google that. I'm on Pandora, I'm on Spotify, I'm on Amazon, I'm on Deezer, I'm on Tidal. I got my own website. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on anything. Just King Kihei. I just try to simplify it. Just King Kihei, man. Thank you for watching King Kihei on the couch. The dopest episode you've seen thus far.
Hey, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and please comment below on today's discussion.
And if you missed any of our last episodes, keep on watching.